people just aren't buying right now. I don't live under a rock. There are interest rate rises, a housing crisis, and good old social media, which does not help us with this. I'm not saying that that's not true. What I am saying is there might be some nuancing that we can do around this one. One of my clients spent a lot of money recently. Did she have to work a bit harder? Yes. Did she have to do it a little bit differently? Yes. Did she still make sales? Hell yes. So she turned a launch into a $50,000 launch. People are still spending money. Sales are still happening. I reckon there's 3 things that I think business owners need to do to continue with selling over the next little while. Get creative, zhuzh it up, and get in the driver's seat. Now, I'll talk you through those 3 things. So get creative about what you're offering. Don't roll out the same thing that everyone else rolls out. Put some more thought into it about what it is that makes you different or you unique, that truly adds value. People more than ever are looking for value. What I mean by zhuzhing it up is I need you to do a little audit. Maybe you pause right now and you do this audit. How are you coming across? Are you presenting yourself in a way that makes people want to work with you? Have you done an attitude check? I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's so much negativity out there at the moment, and that's bound to seep in to what we're hearing, what we're thinking, what we're saying to others. Are you a drag to be around? There are some people whose energy is just a lower vibe, and sometimes they can be a drag to be around. Is that you? Are you bringing the right energy? I had someone in my one of my masterclasses tell me the other day, "Oh, Emma, you've brought great energy." But I work at that. I don't just rock up on Zoom and go, "Here I am." I make sure that I put myself in the headspace that I need to be in. I make sure my energy is good. I make sure that I'm intentional about what I'm doing and how I'm showing up for that audience. So zhuzh it up. You might need to zhuzh it up. And then get in the driver's seat. When we're a passenger in a car, we just grab the seatbelt, click it in, and we don't worry about much. We sit back and we allow the driver to do the work. But guess what? We are the driver now. We have to do the driving. That means being active with your business and getting on with doing the right things. As much as we would love them to, leads do not land in our lap. Maybe they land in your lap, or maybe in a past life, in a past time, they had landed in your lap, but they're starting to slow down now. The amount of times I hear people say, especially women, I've done all the back end stuff, I've done all the collateral, but there's nothing happening. My website's not working, my socials aren't working. Is your BD working? Are you actually doing any BD, business development, right? So they spend hours on socials. I know it. We can drop down rabbit holes, and that's the thing about socials. We have to limit our social activity. They fix their website, they tweak their website, they pretty up their collaterals. But what they really need to start doing is working out how they're going to get people on a list. Do they have a list? Do they have a welcome series that would, when you add people to the list, where they would say, hey, it's nice to have you here? If they don't have a list, you've got to start there, because then you need to share your offers to that list. Your list is your VIPs. If you lose Instagram or you lose Facebook, you still got your list. And not enough people are working on their list. Then you got to work out a valuable freebie for your community, a freebie that helps people get on your list. So for me, it's a quiz. For you, it might be a checklist, or it might be something of value. And we need to look at your entire sales process. Do you even have a process? It's a great question, actually. If you pause for a minute and say, do I have a sales process? Whether it's written down or not, I suspect you might have some kind of sales process. If you don't have a sales process, it would be really good to get one of those, and you can map it out super easily. What happens when people come into your world? Do you have a process that you then follow? It's not enough to have the process. We've got to follow the process. If you don't, get one. And today I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek behind the curtain. I want to tell you about one of my offers, which is Revenue Raiser, but not for the sake of Revenue Raiser, so I can show you how I get people to come into my world and invite them into my world. First of all, I want you to picture a funnel. Got it? Great. For Revenue Raiser, which is a group coaching program for 6 months for women wanting to stop working with hourly rates and start making more money and hit that $10,000 a month, right? That's the actual program. Forget the program. I want to talk to you about the process. So number 1, we build our list. We put an offer out there, a freebie, a quiz, whatever it is, and we build our list and we get people to come into our list. Then they get a welcome series from us and then they get a weekly email. 2, we offer cool stuff to our list. You got to love your list. Your list are your VIPs. If you've got people on your list and you're not using your list, what are you doing? Don't waste time. Use the list. We have just finished running a couple of competitions for our list for our people who are so loyal and read our email every single week. We wanted just to give some love back and we ran a competition and it was awesome. Number 3, from the list, we would invite them to a masterclass. Our masterclass is called Create Your Offer Masterclass. It's a 1-hour masterclass. I know that there are a stack of women who are unhappily charging an hourly rate. And I think that limits our ability to provide more service and also to increase our revenue. So the masterclass is designed to have you thinking outside of the hourly rate. And in that 1 hour, you come with an idea, we flesh it out, and hopefully you leave with a little offer that you have that you can put out to market, right? 4, at the end of the masterclass, I offer them an opportunity to have a clarity call with me, which is a 30-minute call, which is absolutely free to help them either get unstuck or talk about Revenue Raiser, or I make an offer for them to join the next round of Revenue Raiser. Sometimes they do both. Number 5, I send a follow-up email with the recording on it and a little bonus because I love it when people come to our masterclasses live. I don't know about you, but we have a lot of people register and then about half turn up and the other half just want the recording. And I'm totally fine with that. But I like to reward those who are at the live masterclasses with a little bonus. Of course, I'm not going to tell you the bonus just in case you come to one of our masterclasses. But you've got to love on your community. And then number 6, I follow them up individually to see where they're at. How do they like the masterclass? Would they like a clarity call? Would they like to join Revenue Raiser? I offer the services that we have and the programs that we have. That's just one offer that we have. Does that sound like a lot of steps to you? Are you sitting there going, oh dear, she could do that more efficiently? You betcha I could. I could automate the whole thing, right? I could do the video, not do it live, not rock up live, not do the follow-up, automate the whole thing. But right now, I'm just not sure that's what people need. You get my point, right? People need to know that you care and that you do what you say you will and that you follow through and that you demonstrate it time and again. Are you doing all of those things? I'm wondering if we can rephrase, people just aren't buying right now. Could we rephrase that? Can we give that a little polish up and a new sentence? Can we say, people just aren't buying as easily as they once were? Or, I need to put a few more steps into my sales process to help people feel more comfortable. People are still buying. They may not be buying as quickly. They may not be buying after one conversation, but you can bet your bottom dollar that people are still buying. Oh, and by the way, I have a lot of clients who say, when is it okay to not follow up anymore? You would have heard me say this before. It's never okay. People aren't ghosting you. That's the story we give it. People need you to follow up. You're the person who has the offer, that's put the offer in front of them. You're the person that needs to follow up. You follow up until you get a no. People are just busy. That's it. People are busy and that is it. I will put a caveat to that. I have noticed some women in business, and it's mainly women, I have to admit, it's mainly women, who reach out, will have a clarity call, and then no matter how much follow-up you do, they do ghost. I find that really unprofessional. I think if you have had a conversation with someone and you don't want their services, tell them. It's not that hard. So if you are one of those women who makes the call, has the clarity call, and just doesn't want to work with the person, just tell them it's not aligned, it's not right for me, thank you so much. Because then that person can move on with their life. And if you're on the other side of that, make sure you're following up. Make sure you're not just doing boring follow-ups like, hey, just checking in every email. Maybe you need to text them. Maybe you need to send them a voicemail. Maybe you need to contact them another way. Don't be boring and make sure that you follow up. From this episode, what do you need to do? What do you need to do? Do you need to go and do an audit about how you're showing up? Do you need to check in with yourself and see what your energy is like? Do you need to ask some people to see what they think your energy is like? That would be super interesting. Is it that you get feedback on your energy and therefore you know it's good? Do you need to think a bit further about your sales process? Do you need to sit down, grab an A4 sheet of paper and write down your sales process? Draw your sales process. Do you need to do a diagram for your sales process? And then you tweak it as you go. What's the one thing that you need to do from listening to this episode? P.S. Thank you for having me in your ears. I love jumping into your ears every single week, and I hope that you're enjoying these. And if you've got any feedback for us on what you'd like to hear on the podcast, hit me up. I would love to hear. Bye.